and I'm not pointing no fingers. I'm just asking everybody, all the judges or anybody who's working on the case, to do what's right and do their job the correct way, even if you overlook something or didn't see something. Everybody makes mistakes, as I said before, but it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it.
Do you believe wholeheartedly that Jay's your father?
I really do. And if it's not, why you can't prove me wrong? Like, it's not far as a proving me wrong thing. It's go to the courtroom and basically do what everybody else would have to do.
Yeah. Are you scared for your life now? It's unfortunate that you were shot at. I'm glad that you were okay from that. Do you think that was a situation where you were targeted? And if so, are you scared for your life?
No, I'm not scared for my life. I mean, it was a scary situation.
A federal judge ordered Jay-Z to take a paternity test, and less than 48 hours later, his alleged son's car got lit up with bullets. That wasn't no random drive-by. That was a warning, loud and clear. Stay quiet or get silenced. But this ain't just some street beef. This is a straight-up legal war. A billion-dollar empire moving in the shadows to crush one man before the truth ruins everything. Back in 1992, Jay-Z allegedly hooked up with a 16-year-old girl named Wanda Satterwhite, known on the block as Precious. They had a quick hookup. Protected, but not protected enough.
I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she been saying Sean Carter, that's what she was calling him at first before she was calling it Jay-Z, and I really didn't know who that was because I was young and, had my little brother, and I really wasn't worrying about it. She was saying it a lot, but this was going along with the person I was just seeing, like the person I looked at who was taking care of me at that time. I really wasn't really trying to understand what my mom was talking about, but she constantly put it in my head like, son, it's not your father, and I really want you to know it is. This person is your father.
Wanda later said the condom broke, and just like that, she got pregnant. From then on, her life turned into a battlefield because Jay-Z vanished like a ghost. She couldn't find him anywhere. No Instagram, no cell phones, no assistants posting his every move. He was gone. And Wanda? She was only 16 when she gave birth. She was literally unconscious in that hospital bed when her boyfriend at the time, Robert Graves, signed the birth certificate. People close to Wanda say Robert knew that baby wasn't his, but he signed anyway to get some extra food stamps and government benefits. That's when the trauma started stacking up. When Ramir was just 8 years old, Wanda sat him down and told him the truth. Jay-Z is your father. She never switched up her story. For years, she begged Jay-Z to take that paternity test, even telling him they could handle it privately. But Jay-Z stayed silent like none of it mattered. Wanda didn't give up, though. She pushed through denied motions, lawyers ghosting her, and judges saying she was wasting their time. And when she realized she might not survive this battle, she did something powerful. She signed a sworn affidavit naming Jay-Z as Ramir's father. In 2019, Wanda passed away from heart failure. One of the last things she told Ramir was to keep fighting because the truth would come out one day. This wasn't no clout chase. Wanda didn't care about fame or headlines. She just wanted her son to know where he came from. But Jay-Z kept silent. Now Ramir's a grown man trying to finish what his mother started.
We didn't have enough information to keep the case going, so it was a big case to me because, I really wanted to find out who my father was, and for the case not to go how I was planning it, I really thought it was going to go different than what it was, but I really feel like it should have been over with because, I feel like if it was anybody else, I'm not saying this because people got higher standards or people make more money than that, but it's this different because, if it was anybody else that made a low income, I feel like they would have had them in there way faster than people that's wealthy.
In 2014, he filed a civil paternity suit against Jay-Z, this time with help from his godmother and legal guardian, Lily Coley, who had been by his side since Wanda's health started failing. And that's when things got shady. Real shady. Jay-Z didn't respond like a regular dude. His lawyers allegedly built a whole legal maze full of delays, misdirections, and lies, all to avoid one simple thing: a mouth swab. Let that sink in. Instead of taking a DNA test, Jay-Z's team allegedly tried to break the entire system. Here's how they allegedly played it. Ramir and Lily filed the lawsuit in New Jersey because that's where Jay-Z and Wanda's hookup went down. It's also where Jay-Z was rumored to own property. The plan was simple: prove Jay-Z had ties to Jersey so the court could order that test. But Jay-Z's team fired back with a legal curveball. They tried to claim Jay-Z didn't live in New Jersey, so the court had no power over him. But here's the catch: there was proof he did. Property records, tax filings, and even his own business documents showed ties to Jersey.
Are you scared for your life? It's unfortunate that you were shot at. I'm glad that you were okay from that. Do you think that that was a situation where you were targeted? And if so, are you scared for your life?
No, I'm not scared for my life. I mean, it was a scary situation. It was a scary situation, but it's just unfortunate. I'm from North Philadelphia. I'm not saying I got nothing to do with it, but I saw a gunshot. I heard gunshots and just saw crazy shit before. So, but it definitely was a scary situation because I never been through it. I barely come outside and I stay to myself. So it's like,
Still, his team allegedly used a New York address to duck the whole case. That one slick move got it tossed out, but it didn't end there. Lily says Wanda was forced to sign away her rights while sedated in the hospital after coming out of a coma. She was still half out of it when Jay-Z's legal team allegedly showed up with papers for her to sign. She didn't even know what she was agreeing to. That one signature flipped the whole battle. Jay-Z's lawyers had the upper hand again, and the case got thrown out. But here's where it gets grimy. Lily claims Ramir's own legal team might have been working against him. Lawyers allegedly switching sides, messing up filings, and making so many errors, it looked deliberate. So not only was Jay-Z's side playing dirty, but Ramir's team might have been helping them do it. The court system didn't care. They tossed the case again. And the deeper Ramir and Lily pushed, the more sealed documents they found. All this just to dodge a swab? Think about it. If you ain't the dad, why fight this hard? Because it ain't just about paternity. That DNA could expose way more. If Jay-Z is the father, it proves he had a child with a 16-year-old girl.
Somewhere in September, he was in the parking lot with other people near where he's at living now. And out of all the cars there, his was the only one shot up. So we believe that was a nexus or a connection, I believe, between the case and what's going on because it was around the time. In addition to that, we've had people come to my home in the past, driving on the grass. We have people knocking on the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. We've been through all of it, mostly around the filing time. So this is a bigger picture than this. We want to try to make a difference with the Pro Se Act or the Legal Abuse Act, bringing new legislation and trying to sit down at the table with the lawmakers to make a difference.
In many states, that's legally considered statutory. Now people are wondering, was this really about a paternity test? Or was Jay-Z trying to bury something bigger? Even when Ramir filed motions with the Supreme Court to unseal old records, they denied it. Not because he was wrong, but because they said they didn't have jurisdiction. Every door slammed in their faces, but then everything changed. A federal judge stepped in and ruled Jay-Z had to respond to the paternity suit. And here's the detail everyone missed. If Jay-Z didn't respond, under New Jersey law, he'd automatically be listed as the father. That ruling forced the game to a close. No more ducking. No more ghosting. Jay-Z had two choices: take the test or forever be known as the dad in the eyes of the law. And right after that ruling, Ramir's car gets lit up with bullets. Let's talk about what went down. The court order dropped on July 18th. Finally, the court stopped protecting Jay-Z. But by September 2023, just weeks later, Ramir says he was shot at in his own driveway. He wasn't alone. The parking lot was packed with cars, but somehow only his got hit. Lily confirmed it all during their interview on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, saying it felt like payback for going public.
People were saying that she's a big part of the problem for him, and some of the things that she was doing, a woman would not, she would have some sort of role in what her husband does. And if she was secure with herself and with the situation, not saying you gotta like it,
right,
she would help her husband handle it.
And this ain't the first time they felt threatened. Lily says she and Ramir had been stalked, followed, and threatened for years while fighting this case. And the closer they got to forcing Jay-Z into that DNA test, the scarier things became. Now here's where it gets next level messy. Lily says they believe Beyonce herself was moving behind the scenes, almost like she was the one pulling all the strings. They claim Beyonce wanted Ramir shut down quietly, not because she thought he was lying, but because she allegedly feared what the truth would do to their billion-dollar empire. She wanted it buried before it hit the media. Even when Jay-Z's team floated the idea of signing Ramir to Roc Nation to keep him quiet, Lily says Beyonce wasn't having it. That offer disappeared overnight. And we can't forget Jay-Z's cold lyrical shade. He dropped that infamous bar, "Heard about us, singing Billie Jean in my prime for the 1,000th time. The kid ain't mine." And online folks just call him dad kiddingly. Jay-Z once rapped, "You're not supposed to take this dad thing literally." That wasn't just a slick bar. It was a direct shot at Ramir, who by then had been begging for a paternity test for over 10 years.
And everybody makes mistakes, as I said before, but it's time to actually do your job and look at everything and get it correct, because you cannot use fraud to continue anything in this world. You can't use fraud to help you get forward in life. Then try to continue on your fraud, or continue using fraud to get forward in life, and of course just let you do that. That's unconstitutional, and I think we should really be looking to fix that problem.
So what did Ramir do? He fired back with a track of his own, dropping lines like, "Ninjas washed up, still doing tracks like 55, where the F you at? Need to go back to your old days. Grown man in his old ways." He said it wasn't about dissing Jay-Z. It was about taking back his voice. If Jay was gonna dismiss him in a billion-dollar studio session, Ramir had every right to respond his way. By that point, Lily and Ramir started documenting everything. Timestamps, photos of damage, names, cars, drive-bys, all of it. They sat down with Tasha K, spoke to The Sun, went on Hip Hop Uncensored, because if they got erased, at least their story wouldn't. At this stage, Ramir wasn't just fighting for DNA results. He was fighting an entire system that seemed more focused on protecting Jay-Z's image than giving justice.
It's crazy. It really is crazy. These judges, these lawyers, this fraud, collusion, who knows what it's for, money or friendships or whatever they got going on. But I can honestly say that we should never go in the courtroom feeling like we're already the victims and we did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong but coming here, tell you guys the truth, put our life on the line.
The deeper you dig into the receipts, the clearer it gets. This was never a fair fight. Think about it. 6 judges touched this case over the years, and none of them forced Jay-Z to take a paternity test. In 2023, Ramir and Lily filed a lawsuit accusing New Jersey courts of fraud, obstruction, and civil rights violations. This time, they weren't suing Jay-Z directly. They were going after the judges who allegedly conspired to protect him. Ramir even asked for old court records to be unsealed, but the Supreme Court refused. Not because he was wrong, but because they said they didn't have jurisdiction. And under New Jersey law, if someone refuses a paternity test and there's enough evidence, they're legally presumed the father, which means Jay-Z could have already been declared Ramir's dad, but the court never enforced it. Now this battle has cost Ramir 14 years of legal fees, filings, and pain.
Wendy Williams explained how Jay-Z has a secret baby by Free from 106 in Park. Now we know Wendy Williams always kept us rolling with the tea, and Wendy Williams was the first person to expose that Jay-Z had a secret baby by Free. She explained how she was told that Jay-Z and 50 Cent were in the delivery room when Free had her baby. And we know that there have been rumors for years that Jay-Z had a secret baby by Free, and how she was allegedly paid off to keep quiet, and that's why she disappeared from 106 in Park and we've never heard from her again. And honestly, these rumors of Jay-Z having these secret babies back then were huge. There was like 5 different women back then that were rumored to have children with Jay-Z. And yes, when all of this was going on, he was with Beyonce.
Just for one answer. It's clear this whole thing was sabotage to protect Jay-Z's legacy and avoid a public meltdown. Because let's be real, if this ever hits trial and Jay-Z's name gets dragged into court alongside claims he fathered a child with a minor in this post-R Kelly era, it's not just a paternity case anymore. That's a PR apocalypse. After almost 2 decades of silence, sealed files, threats, fake addresses, and dodged court dates, the countdown is finally on. Jay-Z has until July 18th to respond to the federal judge's order. If he doesn't, he's legally presumed to be Ramir's father. But that ain't the only thing hanging over his head. Word on the street is, Ramir isn't the only secret child. For years, insiders whispered about a secret daughter, allegedly born from another early 90s fling.
I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I just want to know the truth. And if I can't go to the courts and get the truth, like, what is it really? Why are you? What is it? I just really want it over. It's something that's really affecting my life.
But unlike Ramir, she never went public because Jay-Z allegedly paid her to stay quiet. And guess who was one of the first to call it out? Wendy Williams. That changes everything. It proves a pattern. Deny the child, but fund the silence. If Jay-Z allegedly supported a daughter quietly, why not Ramir? Why fight him so hard? The answer might be simple. Wanda was underage and Ramir spoke up. Now it's too late to clean it up. Ramir isn't even after money. He said it over and over. But Lily's lawsuit is going deeper. They're not just demanding a DNA test anymore. They want punitive damages, full unsealing of court records, an official jury trial, and a criminal investigation into court collusion.
You don't have to prove me wrong. I just want the truth. Honestly, I can take a no. I can take, if I'm embarrassed at the end of the day, I can take that. I really can. I've been through a lot, I've seen a lot. I can take me being embarrassed. Like, this can't take nobody not saying nothing.
This ain't just a civil nuisance anymore. This could trigger more lawsuits, more exposure, and maybe even more secret kids coming forward. And if Beyonce really did play a part in keeping it quiet, that's not just messy, that's a brand crisis. The Carters are media-trained pros. They've survived scandals before, but this is the one they've never been able to kill. Because now, it's not rumors anymore. For now, Ramir's stuck in limbo. He says he'll keep fighting, even if it takes the rest of his life. Now, Jay-Z's got 2 options. Take the test, or let that court paper call him dad forever. And if you think Ramir was the only one, wait till you hear about the daughter Jay-Z's team allegedly bought a house for in Connecticut. She never filed a lawsuit, and she's never had to work a day in her life. You've seen the war? Now meet the one who stayed silent for a price. If you want more explosive stories like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. See you on the next one.